What's up guys, my name and summoner name is AlexJSimpson and welcome to the first video on my YouTube channel dedicated to League of Legends. This video is part of a series where I show you how I play certain champions. Today I'm going to show you how I play Ziggs, the Hexplosion expert. I always play Ziggs mid, the way he's meant to be played, and don't try and tell me, oh he can also jungle, shut the fuck up, he's meant to be played mid. In this gameplay my build focused on early damage and then built sustain a little later. I open my build with boots of speed and 3 health pots. I then go straight for a needlessly large rod to be built into a death cap. Before I finished the death cap, I got sorcerer's shoes for the nice magic penetration. I then went on to finish my death cap, giving me a lot of early damage. I then built Rod of Ages to make myself tankier and for the mana and AP. I know what you're thinking, why build Rod of Ages after death cap and not first? Well, it's because I think that some early damage on Ziggs is most effective over being a little tankier. I then went on to build Athene's Holy Grail, an item which I haven't used much before this game. I started to build it as I found myself running out of mana way too quickly and for the cooldown reduction. I never actually got to finish it because the game ended too quickly. If the game was to continue further, I would have most likely built a Void Staff and possibly Zhonya's Hourglass or Riley's Crystal Scepter. For runes, I used my standard AP carry runes, Magic Penetration Marks, Flat Armor Seals, Flat AP Glyphs, and Flat AP Quintessences. For masteries I used 2109 to maximise my damage output with some mana regen, movement speed, and increased buff duration. At the start of the game my team decided to invade the enemy jungle, as a 3, because they're fucking stupid. Anyway, obviously Ezreal gets ignited and Ashe decides to use her flash and W spell to take him out, giving the enemy team first blood, and I'm actually laning against Twisted Fate in this game who gets an assist, so thank you for that Ezreal, thanks for that you fucking idiot, giving the fucking enemy laner, do you know what, I'll just put it out of my head. The dumbassery doesn't stop there when Lee Sin decides to take the blue buff instead of the red buff at the start of the game because, you know, Lee Sin totally needs that mana regen, it's not like we have a mid champion that needs it or anything. Fucking idiot. Ziggs' passive allows him to farm pretty well, which makes him do extra bonus magic damage with his auto attacks every 12 seconds, and this time is reduced by 4 seconds each time he uses an ability. Now what I like to do with Ziggs is I like to farm with my Q as well as my auto attack, and when I farm a minion with my Q I try and hit a minion that is standing near the enemy champion, because the splash damage actually hurts the enemy champion, giving me a bit more of a lane advantage. With Ziggs' abilities I max my Q, Bouncing Bomb first, taking a point in my E, Hexplosion Minefield at level 2, which is an AoE slow, and a point in my W, Satchel Charge, at level 4. I take my ultimate at levels 6, 11 and 16, like a normal person. I max my Hexplosion Minefield second and then finish up with my Satchel Charge. I max Satchel Charge last as I only use it as a utility spell for getting away from the enemy team. When the blue buff respawns, Lee Sin goes there to probably take it for himself, let's face it. Anyway, he gets caught out by Jax and then Twisted Fate goes there as well and takes him out, which gives Twisted Fate another kill over me, which gives him a bit more of an advantage. Here Vladimir is running away from a team fight which he is losing, so I actually go up to him because Twisted Fate tries to use his ultimate to get to him, but me standing here kind of poses a bit of a threat, so he decides not to. After going back to base to buy my needlessly large rod, I see that my team is actually invading the enemy red. I check to see how far my ultimate is away and I notice that it's actually in range, so I cast my ultimate on the team fight and manage to pick up the kill on Jax. I then make my way over to the team fight because I can see that Vladimir is actually in trouble. Taric seems to be trying to take the enemy team out and slow them, but doesn't manage to do it. I use my Q on Twisted Fate, not quite taking him out, and Vladimir manages to get the kill. Then Taric kills Yorick, and Yorick uses his ultimate to come back to life to try and kill Taric, but he is unsuccessful, and I'm trying to put some harass down as well. I see Lee Sin fighting Yorick on our blue buff, so I go to help him out. Lee Sin starts losing the fight, so I try and get in there with my E to kind of slow Yorick down. I actually miss Yorick and he doesn't really come through, taking only 1 hit from my Explosion Minefield. I use Ignite and totally dirt by missing a Q, but I managed to pick up Yorick with my Ignite. The enemy team do some damage to our tower and Taric managed to land a stun on Twisted Fate and I managed to pick up the kill with my Q and my passive. I also have the red buff that I acquired from killing Yorick earlier, and we get into a team fight, so I push the lane towards the tower. Now in the team fight I have pretty much no mana whatsoever, so all I'm trying to do is auto attack to get my red buff to slow, and I actually managed to pick up quite a few kills thanks to my passive's damage as well. I actually auto attacked Alistar here whilst being stunned by Ashe, and managed to get the kill. Vladimir gets attacked by Jax in the jungle and I have just about enough mana to put down my E, but I miss because Jax flashes, but I managed to pick up the kill with my auto attack and red buff. My team then secure the area so we can try and take Dragon. We begin doing it, but I actually have no mana at this point, so I can't put down my satchel charge or my explosion minefield to try and slow down the enemy. So the enemy attacks us while we're trying to take the dragon and manages to clear up most of my team. We do manage to get the dragon, but everybody on our team dies except for me, and I'm just trying to auto-attack to apply a red buff. But it doesn't really do anything, and I just eventually have to flash through the wall, being the only survivor on my team. After losing the last team fight, the enemy team managed to take 2 of the mid towers. After taking the second mid tower, my team engages on them to fight. I try and land my ultimate, but I actually fail massively, only managing to slightly catch Yorick. Anyway, after using, I think I use a Q and my auto attack, no, just an auto attack on Twisted Fate, managed to pick up the kill on him, and also get the assist for ulting Yorick. The enemy team has us down to our inhibitor tower, and unfortunately, I get hit by an Ashe ult and get taken out instantly because I become such a focus. One of the reasons I actually built the Rod of Ages was because of that. Anyway, luckily my team don't derp in this situation and actually managed to kill most of their team. Yes, yes, kill them all, avenge my death! Also, here is the worst Twisted Fate ulti of all time. Wait for it. Hang on, yeah, attack him, go on! What the fuck, what was that? Seriously, what was that? The enemy team have our inhibitor pretty low, and I try and get into the fight as fast as I can. I use my ultimate on 2 enemies that are trying to flee away, but they turn around and attack on Vlad, so my ultimate is completely missed and wasted. Anyway, Vladimir gets taken out, and I try and help out Ezreal here. Ezreal managed to pick up the kill on Ashe, and I use my E and my W to try and slow Yorick's ghost down. The ghost disappears, and then all is left is Alistar, and then just start using a few attacks on Alistar, and Ezreal manages to pick up the kill on him. The enemy team attempt to do dragon, and I try and get there as fast as I can because I see that a team fight's about to break out. My ultimate is almost up as well, and I'm going to save it for the best time to use it, which is in the team fight. Team fight breaks out and I'm not quite there yet, and my ultimate comes up just about now, so I use it on as many enemies as I possibly can, managing to do quite a bit of damage to some of them. Anyway, I start running in there and I get a Q off on Alistar, managing to pick up the kill and also assisting our team. We managed to actually kill 4 of them at this point, only having to lose Taric, so it was a 4-for-1 exchange, and we also get the kill on Twisted Fate here, so it ends up being a 5-for-1 exchange. Now, I know I've failed a lot of ultimates in this game, but this little clip here manages to make up for it. Goodbye, Jax. Bye. My team attempts to do Baron buff here, and I'm just trying to put down as many abilities on it as I can, also using my satchel charge to kind of cover our tracks, which is always a good idea. When I'm doing Baron, I tend to put satchel charge one side of Baron, and then my explosive minefield the other. Anyway, Yorick attacks from the top here, and I'm trying to put some damage on him and onto the Baron at the same time. And I didn't really quite get my focus totally correct here. Ashe also gets an ultimate off on me, and I'm dropping extremely low. I'm trying to put down as many abilities as I can before I die, but the inevitable happens. Anyway, we managed to get the, I think it's the 5-for-2 exchange. Me and Taric both died, but my team managed to pick up the ace, and they also managed to pick up the Baron buff. So all in all, it was a win-win situation. After returning to the fountain, my team seems to be attacking the enemy team. What I do is I'm trying to get my ultimate down, but I'm waiting for the best time to use it, which is when enemies are low. I use it here to try and pick up the kill on Jax and Alistar, but Alistar manages just to get away, but luckily Taric pops Shirley's Reverie, uses his stun, and manages to get the kill on Alistar. We also kill Twisted Fate, which allows us to get the tower. We engage in a fight 4v5, 5 for us, 4 for the enemy team, because Yorick is mid. I use my ultimate and I manage to take out Ashe. We also fight their team on turret, we take out Jax, and Twisted Fate and Alistar manages just to get away, but then Ezreal uses his ultimate to take out Twisted Fate and manages to kill him. So then we take the tower and the inhibitor and stuff like that, you know. And that's how I play Ziggs. Ziggs is one of my favourite mid champions due to his high damage and his pretty good CC. His explosive minefield is especially useful for enemies that are running away, and it also helps your jungler gank at the start of the game. I also really like his ultimate because it helps get enemies that are trying to run away, but yeah, there's not much running away from that ultimate. One little tip I will give you, the closer you are to the team fight that's going on, the faster your ultimate will deploy. So if you use your ultimate at its maximum distance, it will take longer to appear, and that marker, that massive fucking death marker that appears on the screen, will be there for longer, kind of telling the enemy team to get the hell out. So you want to do it as close to the team fight as you possibly can, like in that situation I just did a second ago. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give the video a like, rating and a comment below. Also tell me which champion you'd like to see next time on How I Play. I also have a Twitter, so don't forget to go and follow me on Twitter. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more League of Legends content. Thanks for watching.